Today's topic is we are born with a body that is designed to be an ASRS, automatic storage retrieval system. But through abundance of food and source of energy, we turn our body from a very efficient storage and retrieval system into an inefficient static warehouse or garage. What I mean by that is we simply store stuff upon stuff inside our garage. And when we're out of the garage space, we go out and rent a storage unit. Trust me, my garage is no different. I have a lot of stuff in there. And when I'm trying to get to what I need, it takes a long time to get through it and get to the one that I need. And our body is no different. Even though it was designed to be very efficient, because we continue to feed surplus of energy, surplus of calories, our body stored that as fat for later fuel, for later retrieval. But because we follow the SAT diet, standard American diet, where we eat 3 times a day, and we eat more than what our body consumes, what our body needs, it turns that surplus into fat. And because we readily and consistently feed our body with a source of energy that it prefers, sugar, carbohydrate, which turn into glucose for our body rapid consumption, it never had the need to tap into the stored energy fat source. Therefore, as we continue to age, as we continue to get older, we have more and more surplus of extra fat. And when our body runs out of space to store, instead of just storing in subcutaneous fat, it's stored as the visceral fat, which surrounds our organ. And that is dangerous. That's when you start to develop fatty liver and many other chronic diseases. For us to turn our body back into what it was designed for, an ASRS, we need to start detoxing our body. We need to get rid of excess fat that our body never get a chance to tap into. Why is it important to keep a body like an ASRS instead of a static warehouse storage? For my target audience, for the hourly employee, production warehouse employees, you can relate to this. When you have a static warehouse, when you have a static capacity, and production continue to build parts with boxes and totes, you're gonna run out of space. And what happens when you're out of space? You have to consolidate the totes, consolidate the skids, so you make room. And it's wasted effort. And another potential side effect is you have LIFO, last in, first out. And the old material became unusable because they expired. Now it costs the companies money. Our body's the same way. When you overfeed it and you continue to feed surplus of energy, it never get a chance to tap into the old fat, the old source. And it always use a new one, LIFO, last in, first out. And the same issue arises. We start to develop chronic issues, chronic illnesses, where we start to rely on medication to suppress those symptoms. But if you fix the true root cause, which is how we store and retrieve our energy, then most likely, most of us don't need to tap into that medication to suppress those symptoms. I don't deny there are some diseases and illnesses that need medication, but I'm saying that many chronic illnesses that we as Americans rely on today can be remedied, can be root cause to the true root cause by fixing your lifestyle, by fixing your diet and our activities, therefore eliminating the need for those. There are many ways to detox our body. We can detox our body through calorie deficit. We can detox our body through intermittent fasting, which is what I'm doing, and follow many different diets. As always, I never say one way is better than the other. I always say, do your research, try it out, and determine which way is best. in this case, which way is best to detox your body? Which way is best to get rid of excess fat that your body never had a chance to tap into? If you're young and able, and you're able to tap into fat by just doing calorie deficit, which I was able to do in my 20s and 30s, that's great, do that. But if you are like me, who once I turned into 40s, I could not follow the calorie deficit 3 times a day meal and be able to lose fat, I had to resort to intermittent fasting, 2 meals a day and 1 meal a day. Whichever way works for you, do it. Whichever way that make it consistent for you, follow it. Don't allow others to judge what you do is right and what you do is wrong. You can tell what you do is right and what you can do is wrong by how you feel and by how you look in the mirror. And don't compare your progress to anyone else but you, because we all have different starting line. When I started working out, when you started working out, it's going to be different. So don't expect your current result to be the same as my current result or someone else. I talk quite a bit about getting lean, getting ripped, getting a six-pack ab to expose. But, you know, it's more than just the physical look. It's the things that you cannot see underneath your body. When I talk about losing weight, being healthy, gaining muscle, these things are beyond the physical look. It's the psychological, intellectual, and emotional health. You will find that once you detox your body of unnecessary junk, and your body has room to breathe, has room to maneuver, and has room to do what it does best, to store and retrieve in FIFO, first in and first out, instead of LIFO, last in, first out, you'll find that you will have a much more sustained energy throughout the day. You'll find that coffee, instead of drinking to make you awake, is drinking for that taste. You'll find that sleeping aid, sleeping pills may not be needed because you're fully rested. And you may find that many of the problems that exist as you age, you no longer need those pills because your blood flow is much better. The takeaway here is, I challenge you to look at yourself and see if you have any fat that is beyond the subcutaneous fat below the surface, that are visceral fat that are surrounding your organ. And you can tell when you start having these belly that pops out. And when you have that, that's a sign of potential serious issue if unattended. I understand about loving yourself, but you also have to be honest with yourself. Do you feel good looking and feeling the way you are? If you are, then don't change anything. But if you don't feel good, you don't look good, and you need a lot of help, then it's a sign for you to do something to change, to detox, so that your body can run very efficient. Until then, take care of yourself now so your future self can live a fulfilling life. Remember, health is wealth.